What's up, fellow geeks, and welcome to this week's Into Geek podcast. This week, we're getting into another news cycle, including a couple of deaths. Regis Philbun and John Saxon, two pretty legendary people, to some degree, passed away this past weekend. We'll get into that. We're also going to talk about Donald Glover getting a shot with Disney Plus to do his own Lando Calrissian show. If it's anything like Mandalorian, it'll probably be pretty beastly. Moving on from that segment, we're going to hit our fan theories. Chase and I discuss some of our favorite fan theories throughout time with film and how things mix and how there's deeper plot. So sit back, relax. It's time to get into it. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Into Geek podcast. As always, I'm Andrew, joined by Chase.
Hey.
Today's show, we are hitting the news cycle once again. There's more stuff to talk about. Then after that, we're going to deep dive into some really fun fan theories. I think being a movie person, fan theories are kind of like always talking points when you're out drinking with friends and stuff, just like with your own, oh man, like, what if this was this and this, like there's all types of fun stuff to talk about there. So without further ado, we're going to go into the first news story. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
Disney Plus is coming out with a new series, Lando, with Donald Glover reprising the role. Do you think this could be good, or is this going to suck?
So, if Mandalorian hadn't already come out, I would have been like, this is going to be shit. Just based on their previous track record. Yeah. But Mandalorian was really, really dope. So, it's like, that was really cool. It was a breath fresh breath of air?
Breath of fresh air.
My words don't mix. So that had a fun cast. It was not great. It was not perfect, but it was a lot of fun. And so I look forward to second season of that. With this, is this going to be before Solo or after Return or like
before, like what's going on in New Hope, what he's doing?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
So I think timeline matters, and it's almost like the thing in X-Men where like Ian McKellen played Magneto first, right?
Yeah.
And then who's the guy who played like young Magneto?
Gosh, I can't think of his name, but he's German or something, or Austrian or something.
What's his name? I'll keep stammering until you find it on your phone.
Oh, real quick though,
what's up?
Do you like Lando's performance? Donald Glover's performance?
It was
Solo.
Fine.
Are you fine
so,
with
like
that?
it wasn't just like Billy D's. But I think he was
Billy
able.
D.
JD, there's somebody else here who wants to say something.
Don't mess this up, man. Be smooth.
Lando's right.
Billy D.
Billy D. It's Lando Calrissian. I think he brought enough to the role to make it a lot of fun. He made it his own thing. He was inherently cool, which is what is great about Donald Glover, is that he's able to like adapt anything with that. Okay, so the thing from X-Men is they got Michael Fassbender to play young him, right?
Yeah.
And then once the movies ran into like the like late 80s or 90s, you're supposed to so he's supposed to change into Ian McKellen in like 6 years or something. Like he was so much more attractive than Ian McKellen and so much younger. It made like no sense. So
maybe in Days of Future Past, like he's not supposed to get broken out of prison. And prison is just a hard time for him.
So I'm wondering if this is set not enough time, is Donald Glover just going to look like young and more attractive than like old ass Billy D. Williams or something or whatever?
Well, I'm curious in a way, is like if they're just scrapping the whole Solo 2 and stuff, and they're just going to make it, because the guy who played Solo, it's not like he's got other acting roles.
You know what's funny about that is that everybody talked bad about him going into it, but I thought he was a lot like Han Solo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was that bad.
I thought he was fine.
To get used to.
I just don't like the movie direction-wise. I think it's a very ugly movie. It's very gray and just dull looking.
I thought they made some stupid decisions with it. With those, like, what's your last name? I don't have one. Well, I guess you're Solo, huh? We'll just put that as your last name.
That's the name of the movie.
Like, it started off, like, the first 5 minutes, though, was kind of cool with him joining the Empire and stuff.
I would have liked to have seen him in the Empire.
Yeah, that was
and
really
seen
cool.
him grow as a pilot, learn to be like a scoundrel. Maybe he's like bringing in booze and weapons and stuff. Just something cool.
Yeah.
And they were like, none of that. No.
That lasted 2 minutes.
He just immediately joins Woody Harrelson. And then they die immediately, So it was like they introduced all these fun characters and they were like, yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah.
We're just going to go right into like Solo and like Chewie or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I have a few friends who think that that is their favorite movie of all the Star Wars.
I mean, I do like the end twist, bringing Darth Maul back.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. Like,
And it's
I was
also Ray
shocked at
Park,
that.
which
Yeah,
is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. But
Also, he redid his role for the cartoon here recently for like the end of the actual like Clone Wars series, or whatever. He came in with this other actress for his like final fight scene against like Ahsoka, and so it's not just like computer graphics doing a fight scene.
Does he do
It's
the
actually
voice?
I think so.
I hope so, because I feel bad. Like, he's done that role, and he was in
Toad?
X-Men Toad,
Yes,
and like he
Toad.
gets like two
Hey,
lines.
he's also
each movie.
in X versus Sever with that terrible.
But like he never
Lucy
gets
Liu
lines
movie.
in movies. Like,
Yeah,
they're
it's
like-
true.
So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, you're doing some voice acting.
Yeah,
Get
so
some
so it
lines.
was cool to see him to come back to reprise that role. So no, but I agree. I think that could be like a really fun show because you don't need a big budget. It's the same thing with like Mandalorian. It's more of like a set piece show,
Yeah.
you know, or like a really cheap Star Trek show or something. Or whatever. I think it's fun.
And I think if Donald Glover like tries to help write on it and stuff, like he'll make it where it's at least fun.
I do hope this does not interfere with him doing Atlanta. I watched both those seasons during quarantine, which is also like another hidden COVID gem. And this is from like the last episode. That show's awesome, and it got pushed back because of COVID. So I hope that these don't like mess up each other or anything. But I mean, like, yeah, it sounds cool. I'll watch it. All right, so my first piece of news: recent interview with Josh Hartnett, who people might not remember. During like the early 2000s, he was this next up and coming heartthrob, really cool young actor. He took a step back. I forget exactly. I don't know if it was because he had a kid or something happened, but like he deliberately quit doing movies for like a few years there, and now he's kind of coming back, but he's kind of under the radar. I think like here recently he did Penny Dreadful, which is like a show and stuff, and maybe like one or two other things.
Well, I don't know. I hadn't seen.
So a person just kind of like wanted to talk to him about the business. It came out he was offered the role to play Superman in the one that had Brandon Routh,
Superman Returns.
So he was offered that role. He turned it down. He was also in talks to play Batman for Nolan.
Really?
But that one never really grew past like a little bit like of interest. And then he was linked to maybe play the new Spider-Man that Andrew Garfield ended up playing. So my question to you is: you see him as any of these roles, and if not, what superhero role could you see Josh Hartnett playing?
Right now, I could. That's tough. I couldn't see him playing any of those roles just because he's always had a kind of a baby face.
He does.
So it'd been tough.
He is kind of like
I want
like
to see what he
inherently
looks like
cool,
now.
though.
Again, I hadn't seen him in 10 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Sin
like
City might have been the last thing I saw.
He has the same look. He hasn't really put on weight or anything. He didn't go like full
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser, where he just like ate himself like almost like out of acting. So he's still attractive. I think he's around like 40 now at this point.
Yeah, he's around my age.
Yeah. So like he's not too old. He can still do some like physical stuff. On Penny Dreadful, he plays this like cowboy werewolf or whatever. It's pretty dope. And
I did
know
like
he's-
when he was an actor, like 40 Days, 40 Nights. I thought was really funny.
Yes.
He did the opening scene in Sin City.
Yeah.
Like he's done a lot of stuff.
He
And I
did,
like the movie Faculty.
Oh yeah.
So he's done a
Hey
lot
guys,
of
another
good
hidden gem.
movies. Yeah.
Faculty
Is good.
It's got like an invasion of the body snatchers feel to it, except it's all MTV people, whatever. It's great. Another movie. He did the one with Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman, where he's like not a hitman directly, but
Seven.
Lucky Number 11.
Lucky number 11.
Yeah.
Not Seven.
That's a really good movie too.
Yeah.
It's a
was
little
good.
it's a little overproduced, but it's still a lot of fun. Characters are great in it. A lot of awesome actors.
He did a Hollywood Homicide with Harrison Ford.
Yes, where he plays an actor as a cop.
Yeah.
He also did 30 Days a Night, which is one of the best vampire movies I think around.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's really good in that. So if I agree, I don't
know what superhero. Maybe
I could maybe see him as like an underdeveloped Batman style dark character, and if I'm going that way, I might put him as the Question or something or whatever.
I could see maybe if they redid everything, but like I could see him playing like a Deadshot kind of.
You know what? I was also on that track, and I was thinking like he might have been like a really cool Taskmaster
Oh, yeah, that might
coming
be.
up in that. Like he has a very like cool graveled voice,
Yeah.
to him, whatever, and he looks very like hard boiled. So he would have to be like a character, a Punisher-esque style.
Like he has that
character or
look,
something.
kind of like he just doesn't care, which he kind of doesn't because he left Hollywood. He just didn't care.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So basically, his reasoning was he didn't want his career to be solely defined by doing that role. So he didn't want to become Superman, and then he's always Superman, which is kind of true
So he did
because
nothing.
well, no, I mean, like he chose all his stuff based on actual passion projects and not on money and fame, which is obvious because a lot of people probably don't, as we're talking about it, they probably don't know who he is. But if you think about Brandon Routh, I think of him first as Superman. I don't think of him as anything else.
Oh, he's done Superman. He's in the new show, whatever.
DC Legends of Tomorrow.
DC Legend Tomorrow. And then the only other thing I can't even really think of him in, he was in Zack and Mira Makes a Porno.
He's also in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, he had a little small role.
He's great in that. You know,
He was good in that. He was good in that.
Vegan powers.
You're here. Didn't you know? Todd's vegan.
Vegan.
It's not really that big of a deal.
It's great. Yeah, so he has a couple of small stuff here and there, but yeah, I agree. It's like he did Superman Returns and Brandon Routh. It failed, and his career just kind of followed that. It just he was never able to like really get going. And it's weird because when he was on Legends of Tomorrow, I was like, that's so weird. It's such a small project, but I was like, that was 10 years, 12 years since or longer since he did Superman. I was like, I guess not actually, or whatever. So that's all for that. Chase, what's your next piece of?
Sorry to say, but Regis Philbun died. He was, I believe, 88 years old. I did not know this about him. Regis Philbun actually has the Guinness Book of World Records. He's been on TV more than any other human being ever.
Wow.
Is
he just famous for being famous?
No, he's been he had the Regis show and stuff like
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
But he did that show for 53 years.
Did he do anything else before Regis and Kelly or Regis?
I think it was there was a guy who had a show, and
Okay.
then he took over. And then he did that show for 50 years, pretty much. And then he did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I think
that's
once
where
he did
I mainly know him from. Is that
once he did that, that just took him to another
That's
level.
your final answer.
He was also in the 80s, big in David Letterman. He was on his show. So
Really?
I think
As what?
he just
Was
was
it a
always on
comic?
the show. No, I mean he just did because he was still doing Regis and Kathy Lee, and he would just. I guess they're filming in the same area, like the same building and stuff. So he would come up because they do their shows. Right, they do like David Letterman at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So like he'd be done with
Hollywood
Regis.
trick people.
Yeah.
They're all done in the morning.
So, but he has it was something like pretty much for 50-something years, he was on TV an hour a day.
What's funny is you brought up Regis Philbun died, but not the other actor that also died this week.
Oh yeah. I actually was yesterday or something.
I think so. John Saxon died. Who people don't know, he was in like Enter the Dragon. He's the dad on
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, and then a litany of other things.
He was a lot of B.
Yeah.
Cinemax kind of.
But I tell you, I saw Enter the Dragon as a kid, and I liked him from then on because it's such a fun role. This like white karate master on this island, and then he finds a way to like start gambling and stuff or whatever.
That's the dream.
Yes. So like that's since then I've just always liked him, and then after I watched that, and then I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm thinking like, why doesn't he just like fucking bust out some kung fu here? What is going on here?
Why is he such an asshole to his daughter?
Such a bitch. What's going on here? So shout out to Regis Philbun and John Saxon, both, and also one lead actresses from Gone with the Wind.
It's actually the last one from the movie that was still alive. She was
104 years old. Yeah,
She played Molly,
I can't think of her name, but
I can't think of her name. I feel bad. I kind of want to look it up.
old white lady. Yeah,
104 years old.
104 years.
Impressive.
That's old, dude. That's a long time to be miserable. But yeah, she also died or whatever as well. So like it's like a three for there.
It's Olivia de Havilland.
Some of that sounds right.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
She was a two-time winner of an Academy Award for Best Actress too, though.
For like Gone with the Wind. Or
I don't think you can win the award twice for one role.
there's like remake maybe. You don't know.
She did the remake.
You don't know. All right. Moving on from sad news, we're gonna go into kind of more comic booky news. So yesterday, I think, was the 15-year anniversary of Constantine, a movie that came out back in 2005, starring Keanu Reeves, based on the Hellblazer comic books in DC. The movie itself is not a lot like those comics. It's you can tell they had almost
Hollywood.
Hollywood,
Hollywood.
almost like an underworld vibe to it. It had this dark gothic feel to it. But it's one of Keanu Reeves' better roles, I think, or whatever. He does a really good job. It's a really cool world. They said that they had plans to make sequels. Would you be interested in a constant sequel? And not only that, what's another movie that only had one and you would have liked for them to have continued on?
Ooh, that's tough. I will say I liked him as John Constantine. I don't know. I've heard they're like maybe doing more, but I don't know if they're going to start over and reboot it.
I hope not.
I think they are. I think they're going to start and reboot it because Keanu Reeves is 50-something years old. They want to, make this last.
Side note, has any person of his age ever looked as badass on screen?
What do you mean?
Because like John Wick, like he's so old in that, but they make him
Liam
look
Neeson.
like,
I mean, they make that dude a badass, and he looks twice as old as
I
Keanu
bought some
Reeves.
skills. I'll find you.
But yeah, they make him look badass.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. But I mean, like a lot of that's like really, really shaky cam-esque as well.
But they can make old people look good. I mean, even when they
make
did
old people look
they can
good.
make old people look good. Yeah, look like they
They could
ass.
DH and people.
Yeah, they can do that. But whatever. Who's James Bond?
Daniel Craig,
No, the first one.
Roger Moore,
The first one. Sean Connery.
Well,
Sean Connery
he wasn't the first one.
He won, but I'm saying
specifically.
that he was the big one. But Sean Connery,
Yeah.
The Rock and stuff, they made him look great next to Nicolas Cage, and that's tough to do. That's tough to do.
If I had, so I would like to see another Constantine. I think it's a fun world.
I would actually like to start at least get some of the characters. Like he is British, that's a big part of him.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's fair. Like maybe reboot it or
Yeah,
something
we got we're taking roles from Brits. They never take roles from us. So
And that's not true.
I'm
A
kidding.
lot of Brits are still in our jobs.
I'm kidding.
A movie that I would like to have seen a sequel that was planned on having a sequel was called Push. It starred Chris Evans and Dakota Fanning, and it was this world where psychics have like abilities and powers, and it was like it wasn't based on a comic book, but they wanted to start their own cinematic style universe, a trilogy of films, and basically like Chris Evans he's got like moderate telekinesis, and so it starts off he's using it to like win like at like dice games and things or whatever. Dakota Fanning can see the future, but she keeps herself drunk to like not do it. And at the time she was like I think like 15 or something or whatever. So there's a multitude of different type of psychic people that have like really cool abilities and stuff. And it was always a really fun premise. But just me in general, I love films that use psychic powers, like if it's Carrie or if it's like scanners or like I love the idea of people having mind powers. It's so cool to me. So I'm a real sucker for that. But they planned on doing more, but it only made like $60 million or something, and so they just didn't continue with it, whatever. But it's not a bad movie. I don't know if it's on any streaming platforms, but if you're watching HBO and it pops up, you should totally check it out. It's only like an hour and a half or something.
Since I had to think of something real quick, one movie that just came to mind is actually a movie that came out in, I think, 85, 86.
Tango and Cash.
No, that would be awesome. Maybe not so much a sequel, maybe a spinoff, but I just love the world it was built. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Okay.
I love the idea. It was like they had Hollywood and cartoons were real.
Yeah,
They used them as actors and stuff. I
And
thought
it's
that was
so strange. There's no reasoning behind it. It's just like, it's always been like this.
Yeah,
Like cartoons have always been real. Yeah.
Like in the 80s too. Like for me, it was like, is this really how it is?
just
We're in
drive into
Memphis,
Toontown.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I want to go to California. I mean, they got cartoons there, and like Mickey and Bugs Bunny are hanging out. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You never got to see that.
Never got to
I mean,
see
it
that,
was
yeah.
awesome. I was like, I want to see this world more.
And then I think that was almost every kid born in that era's first real crush in
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica
Oh,
Rabbit.
yeah.
And what's crazy about her, she was specifically drawn in the most scientifically sexual way. Like her
It
weight,
worked.
her waist to chest ratio. It was actually measured out that's like men's favorite, like in terms of like sight or basis.
Yeah.
But like if you use an X-ray on her, like I don't know where her ribs are. Like her body doesn't make any sense. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like, I'm not sure exactly.
I had to do a sequel to it because Storm would get
Yeah.
in trouble again. But like a spin-off where it just shows the world, someone else is.
I'd watch a show like that.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's
too.
really cool. Yeah, no, I agree. What's your last piece of news?
Last news, so Zack Snyder came out with some new Justice League, I guess, Snyder Cut news. Showed a couple of little footage. You get to see actually Superman in the black suit.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see. Also, there was discussion. So the movie is like 218 minutes. And they don't know if they're going to release it as like one just big feature film or they're going to do it like a mini series and have episodes.
So is he reshooting scenes?
I have no clue.
Or
supposedly he's just got a whole bunch.
is there like a USB in his closet that he just found behind some boxes?
I don't know. He did say he would blow it all up though if he had to use any of Joss Whedon's stuff. So I don't know if there's like a feud there.
What's funny is you're talking about Joss Whedon. There's other news about him. The guy who plays Cyborg came out. I'm not sure how long ago, and was talking about how terrible Joss Whedon was on set, handling other actors, handling people on the set. And he had to stop talking about it because the studio made him sign a non-disclosure agreement. But he is currently being like under like investigation about everything. And like here recently, Fisher, they asked him how he felt about it, and he said like he still feels the exact same way. And it's weird that Joss Whedon hasn't threatened him with slander or anything because everything that like he said is true or whatever. Yeah. So this could be like a really big hit to Joss Whedon's career if true. He already pulled out of Comic-Con as well and stuff. He was in line to have like a panel, and they like pulled him out and everything because he's got like a lot of current bad press going on.
I did not know about.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because like he's done a lot of projects that I like.
He's done like a lot of good stuff, but like.
So is everybody a monster, Chase? Like is everybody?
We're monsters. Y'all don't know it yet.
If people
keep listening, you'll find out.
If folks are just unchecked, do they just act like assholes?
I think. When you do a job just for the money, you will be an asshole.
Yeah. You know what? Like me saying that, at least we know that Keanu Reeves is a good dude.
Yeah, he is. That dude, that really is.
Like, I don't know if all of his stories are true, but he sounds almost like a legend at this point or whatever, because I just constantly hear things. There was a really funny thing that happened to him last year where he was on a plane. It got delayed. So it was like a small airport. They gave them a bus shuttle, and for anybody who wanted to use it, it would drive them home with her. And Keanu was like, okay, cool. And so for like 9 hours, he rode in the bus with these like random people, whatever. And then they stopped like Wendy's and he bought everybody food and stuff or whatever. Just like
That's awesome.
He just like answered questions and took pictures of everybody on the bus. He's just like a genuinely cool dude or whatever.
Okay, you have to ask Keanu Reeves one question. What's your question?
Oh man,
what is the Matrix?
If he could not do any one movie, what would it be? Like,
ooh, that's tough.
Like if you could take away one of his movies.
See, I bet there's one that like
Dracula.
I was going to say like I bet he likes it.
Hello
but
there,
I think
Dracula.
just all the bad press of like
prepare to die.
Yeah, your British accent is so bad.
It's so bad. It's such a weird '90s movie.
Yeah.
And
Gary Oldman's great at it.
He is, but like Keanu Reeves is so out of place. It's almost as bad as Kevin Costner in Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
So who has the worst British accent?
I don't think Kevin Costner even went for the British accent.
He was like, fuck it.
I was like, no, this is American Robin Hood.
Whatever, man. Also, like another pretty cool guy is Chris Evans. We were talking about him earlier. I've heard a lot of good stories about him. A week ago, a kid was attacked by a dog. It was
protect his sister.
Yeah. His sister was being attacked, and he ran in there. He's like 6 or something or whatever,
he was young.
and he got mauled. He got messed up really bad. I'm hoping that his facial construction's not that hard, but it was really cool because he's a big superhero fan. Yeah. And Chris Evans did a video for him and was like, as Captain America, just being like, no, you're like a real hero and da da da. And then he sent him like an actual shield from the movies. And then Robert Downey Jr. piggybacked on that and was like talking trash. It was just great.
Yeah,
it's just awesome.
He said something like, "Hey, on your next birthday, call me. I got something for you." And I don't know if he's going to show up to this kid's birthday party or here's like here's your Iron Man suit. Yeah. When you're 18, you can fit into it.
You're gonna be Iron Lad. Let's do this. Yeah. So it's always fun. The people that you enjoy their work, that they end up being cool people, and they're not. I mean, like Kevin Spacey coming out as being terrible. Like oh god, that broke me, dude. I love some of his movies. I was like, I can't like any of his stuff anymore. Thanks, man.
Like I didn't even watch anymore. Whatever the show he had on Netflix.
House of Cards.
I don't think he was in it anymore, but I was like, I can't watch it.
Moving on from that, Netflix has greenlit to do a Usagi Yojimbo cartoon. People who don't know, that was the Samurai Bunny Rabbit from Ninja Turtles.
Oh, really?
So I'm wondering if it's going to be like a mature theme, because a lot of people don't know the original comic books were adult themed. They were all like very violent, people getting cut up, and they eventually brought in Yojimbo from his own comics through like time travel bullshit or whatever. But the cartoon was so lighthearted and colorful and fun that everybody just assumes that like it's like that or whatever. So I would love to see like a really hardcore
Ninja Rabbit.
Ninja Rabbit. I mean, like almost like a mature themed. Like Castlevania is really cool. I mean, I wouldn't do an anime style. I would do like an American Samurai Jack style, probably for it or something or whatever.
I mean, it could still be kind of adult, but just not be over the top, like R-rated. Like they got a new Transformers cartoon movie thing coming out on Netflix. It comes out like actually like a week or I think or something like that. And it looks very like action oriented. And it looks adult, but it's not over the top. It's not for kids, but
Gotcha.
I don't think it's over the top or anything.
If you could have any cartoon character get a show on Netflix and be like a mature, fun, adult-themed cartoon, what would you go with?
That is tough.
I have one in my mind that I think you and our friend Jamie would pick.
That's the first one.
Was it? Was it?
Deadpool? Yeah.
No. I wasn't thinking that one.
I was thinking Deadpool. I was like, a cartoon of Deadpool, because then you could do so much.
Well, they were
with
planning
it.
on doing that. With,
Yeah.
it was written by Donald Glover, right?
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
Deadpool, right?
it was
Deadpool,
Deadpool,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And like that was the first thing that kind of came to my mind.
The first thing that came to mind for me was Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck would be.
Howard the Duck would be fucking hysterical.
That could be
probably.
good.
Yeah. With like his like quack feeling
Yeah.
stuff. All right, guys. I believe that's all of our news.
Yeah, it's all
All
right.
right, so let's move on to some fun stuff. Fan theories. Every geek loves to watch their favorite movies and then try and find correlation between Easter eggs and be like, oh, actually, this person does this, and this universe is all mixed, whatever. And so we thought it'd be fun to kind of find some really popular fan theories that people might not know about and then throw them at you. Did you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You go ahead.
So one of my favorite fan theories in Shrek, Donkey, right? He's a talking donkey, right?
I'm a donkey.
I'm a donkey. It's terrible. So a really fun fan theory is that if you go back and watch the Disney movie Pinocchio, there is an island where all of these terrible kids are taken, and they're given like this drink, this concoction, and it turns them into donkeys. And then they're then sold into like weird donkey slavery or something, whatever. It doesn't really go into it. Side note, that guy never gets his like comeuppance, so he's just still making donkey kids or whatever. And I don't know how much money is in that business or whatever.
Oh, there's tons. There's tons.
So much donkey
money.
business.
Donkey business.
So the theory is Donkey from Shrek was one of these kids that actually used to be a normal boy, and then he would turn into a donkey, and that would explain why he can speak and stuff or whatever. And it also links more obscure Walt Disney stuff. And I've always loved that idea because it just makes sense to me. It's such a fun like Edgar Wright almost like little like Easter egg that like it's either it or like you don't know it or whatever. So Shrek, I think Donkey is from Pinocchio actually.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that one, so that one is kind of interesting. The one I got, my wife actually recommended. She likes this one. Is a Harry Potter one. It is that the theory is that J.K. Rowling is actually Reader Skeeter. And supposedly she did something bad and got banished from the Wizarding Worlds. So as an FU back, she wrote the story of like Harry Potter from their worlds. Which is kind of funny because she got banished and like you're kind of wondering if it could happen or not. But right now she's transphobic and is getting banished from us. So maybe she did that there.
It's weird because she was retrofitting a lot of other like ideologies to make herself not seem racist and not seem this. But she's like, what, like trans stuff? I'm out. I'm out on that.
The line. That's the line.
Sexo-changicus.
Yeah. But it was just kind of interesting because like her character, you could see it kind of like, I mean, of course there is no wizards.
You don't know
think.
that. You don't know that.
We think. But I thought it is a fun one. It gives you hope that there are wizards.
J.K. Rowling being transphobic also goes back to everybody's an asshole.
Oh yeah,
everybody's an asshole.
No one thought J.K. Rowling was going to be an asshole.
If you give anybody time, they will let you down. don't have heroes, folks. Don't have heroes.
And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's
It's
the
just
truth.
life. I'm sad all the time. All right. So my next one is, I don't know how big it is, but like I've heard it here and there. The idea is Willy Wonka murdered those kids, and that he is a serial killer. The proof being that he already had songs ready for his Oompa Loompas to sing, and then if you go through the film, as the kids get off one by one, the size placement for like their next vehicle, whatever, is only that many people. So it's like he's like purposely planning these like serial murders. Not only that, he's also turning them into candy, and he's serving them to the public or whatever. And he wanted Charlie to take over the business as the next like candy slayer or whatever, and stuff.
That's a fun one.
It's fun.
Like I know I've heard of that one. I know it's one like with the boat. Like the boat only 6'6". So when they got to it, some of the kids had to be dead.
Exactly.
In order to fit
So it was
that makes it fun.
Yeah. So it's like that, and plus like Wonka's like flippant behavior where I was like, oh cool, a kid died, whatever. So there's that, and also there's another one where people think that Wonka is Charlie's actual dad or something or whatever, some crazy stuff like that. But that one I didn't feel as strong with. But I would have loved for Tim Burton to have done this version.
Yeah.
And it's literally just him murdering kids.
That would have been a lot of fun. If
That'd
they
been
would
awesome.
Do that, yeah.
Like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
But it's
Willy
Wonka.
Yeah.
What's
That's
your
cool.
What's your next one?
My next one also has to do with murderers. But
The best.
Kids and murderers.
Even better.
Yes. The theory is that Kevin McAllister from the hit movie Home Alone, played by Macaulay Culkin, grows up to be Jigsaw, the killer from the Saw franchise. This one to me, I think it's just fun just because it's like, I grew up and I'm around the same age Macaulay Culkin is. So like, I saw this kid on TV and he's doing these things against Joe Pesci. Actually, I hated him. And I think it was jealousy. I'm like, why does this kid get to be famous and I'm not? So I hated Macaulay
All
Culkin.
them damn micro machines.
But then as he got older, I respect him and stuff like that. And he's fun. But like Saw, I really love the first Saw movie. I think it's a great movie. And I like the idea of like this kid grew up being just crazy and tormented these robbers. And he got that itch. He got that itch. And he grew up and became Jigsaw and became crazy. I think it's fun.
That would be a really fun recasting movie for them to just get Macaulay Culkin to do like a Saw
reboot.
Yeah, that would be like really great. A side note, I think it's great that Macaulay Culkin grew up normal-ish.
Yeah.
He's not totally normal, but like
he went through a phase where he was not
he
normal.
did. Yeah,
he
he didn't get the Corey Haim treatment or whatever, where he just got banged by everybody in the 80s. So
Yeah.
So fortunately for him, his parents took his money, but they saved his butt. So like he's reasonably normal.
We're going to put him in the unawful yet column.
We don't know yet. We don't know.
know.
We don't know yet. This next one, I don't know how much water it holds, but I thought it was kind of fun, and it's a Marvel one, so I want to do that. Yeah. The theory is Howard Stark, back in the day, used the experimental super soldier serum on Tony Stark. And this would explain why when he was hit in the first movie by the rocket propelled grenade and he's got shrapnel in him, his body didn't break down and die. And explains how he got like poisoning from certain things, how he's able to take a lot of physical force and not get concussions and things like that, how he was able to go up into space and he didn't get any type of radiation or anything put into him. So there's all these little things, and it could also help explain why he's so intelligent, because he has this like hyper intelligence ability. So the idea is that basically Howard Stark was testing on his son, and Tony Stark's like almost like a failed experiment as well or whatever. But he has remnants of the super soldier program.
See, that's not a bad, but what I don't like about it is because like during the Iron Man and Avengers movies, like you kind of find out that like Howard Stark was kind of a dick. And then at
It explains it though, right?
But then at Endgame, they give him this nice moment. He was a good guy. And this kind of conspiracy really makes him a dick again. So I don't know how I feel about
I
that
wouldn't put it past Howard Stark to like test on his kid though. No. Especially if he thought it would give his son extra privilege beyond being white and rich. He was like, you know what? Superpower privilege as well. So I'm not sure how true that one is, but it
the whole
explains
idea
certain
he
things.
was infatuated with Captain America. So,
Yeah,
I mean
it's also true, right? Yeah. So
some things.
I think that there's enough stuff there that you can like lie yourself into it.
Yeah, because I mean, Thanos punches the hell out of him.
He drops a moon on him and he doesn't die. So it has to be something like that.
Well, speaking of superheroes, my next one is also in the superheroes. It's in the Batman vs. Superman kind of Suicide Squad era. In the movie Batman vs. Superman, you do see a Robin outfit, and it's spray painted with the "Joke's on You, Batman" on it. The theory is that Robin actually becomes the Joker. And a big part of the theory that like makes it hold water and stuff is you see in the suit, there's like bullet holes in it. And the idea is like you think the Joker killed Robin.
Yeah.
But then when you see the Joker in Suicide Squad, he's got a shirt off and stuff. He's got actually bullet like hole marks in the exact same spot.
I just thought that those were just more bad tattoos.
There's a lot of those. But I mean, so it kind of holds a little bit of like, I don't know, it holds a little bit of weight that I kind of hope it's true, actually.
Yeah.
That Joker actually, like, Robin became the Joker.
Because, I mean, like,
that's kind of a cool
There's
thing.
a couple of different timeline stories of that being factual, where Joker was like a previous
Yeah,
Robin.
they did
I think
the Batman Beyond
Batman
one,
Beyond had one or whatever.
Fast Point, at least the cartoon version,
Yes.
his mom actually becomes the Joker.
I can't remember. I know that Tim. I'm sorry, not Tim Drake. Who's the one turns into Red Hood?
Red Hood is
Jason Todd.
Jason
Todd, right? So I don't know if there's another one who turns into the Joker. I know that in Flashpoint, it's his mom,
Yeah,
right?
his mom.
Is what you're saying. So I think that would make that movie definitely better. I mean, like,
supposedly there's
needs
a suicide like cut, a
Really?
David Goyer cut that's like 200 and some minutes, and like 40 of it is really all the Joker.
Wow.
And they really just cut it all.
Well, you know, I mean, it would also explain why Jared Leto's performance is so terrible. Is because he's not really Joker. He's just he's a tormented ex Robin or whatever, and he just broke psychologically and became Joker or whatever. You know, so.
Hopefully they didn't get rid of him and get a good Joker.
Well, no, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So that could allow you to bring back Jared Leto, and then maybe psychologically at some point he gets healed and then becomes Robin again or something or whatever, like or Nightwing or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, I
don't think he wants to play Nightwing. He only wants to play
Joker.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard some crazy things. He was like masturbating into condoms and giving them to people and
I know
stuff,
he gave
whatever.
people rats or something.
Dude. Like, I feel like he heard Heath Ledger stories and he was like, I can one up that.
Yeah.
Except he didn't at all. Like, he was just awful. So I will piggyback off of your Batman fan theory and go into my Batman fan theory, which is Dark Knight. There's a theory that the Joker was an ex-war veteran from Iraq. And this basically explains how he is a badass in hand-to-hand. He is very good with tactics and strategy, with weapons, with bombs. How he basically his own clothes and stuff. So it basically explains why he's so tactically good at everything. And he's not just because he constantly says, I don't have a plan or whatever, and it's all horseshit. He does have a plan, and it's a chaotic plan or whatever. But like, there's a lot of like, so it would explain why he has PTSD and why he's attacking this like establishment, and why maybe he was attracted to a war with Batman because it makes him feel at home, So I've always really liked that idea that it gives you a little bit more. I mean, like, even though I feel that Joker is best left unknown and just as a mystery, some people just want to watch the world burn. I love like not everybody needs a backstory and exposition. It's just great. Joker's great because he just loves violence.
Yeah. It's great that they added that line. Like, some people, he tells that story, Michael Caine does, and it's just, some people just want to watch. That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
The Exactly. You don't need the backstory. That's told you every time character.
That's also why that movie is really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. So moving on from that one, I have a couple of quick ones here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually,
I got one more.
Yeah.
This one's a little longer, but mine is a Star Wars one, and it is that the Galactic Empire are actually the good guys, and the Rebellion are pieces of shit. Okay. So yes, if you watch Star Wars and you watch them all and stuff like that, you see, like, in episode 1, episode 2, the Republic and everything, it's not running very well at all. Things are going bad. So the Empire actually like stabilizes it and it's like, hey, we're going to be in control of everything and everything will be okay. Everything kind of is okay. Like, you never actually see anything bad happen.
Yeah.
Or anything bad they do.
They blow up Alderaan, don't they?
Hold on, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. Okay, so first off, let's start episode 4, like the opening scene. What are the Empire doing? Someone robbed them, the Rebellion, and they're just after them, okay? They literally just, hey, you robbed us, we're coming. Cops are going to do that. That's just how it's done. The Rebellion, they're not the best people. They literally shoot to kill. The Galactic Empire, they give you tons of warning shots. Okay, they never.
I love the idea that stormtroopers are not inept. they're just like safety first.
Exactly. I mean, it happens all throughout too. The Empire always take prisoners. If you watch it, no one ever dies on the rebellion side. Everybody dies on the Galactic Empire side. They take Princess Leia hostage, or they take her prisoner. They could kill Han Solo. No. What do? They invite him, Chewie, and Leia to dinner. Okay? They don't even... There's like... I mean...
Sweethearts.
Exactly, yeah. Number two, the rebellion... Also, hold on real quick. So, like, they're more pacifists. They'll, like, capture you. They're not going to do it. Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, they fight in Episode 4. If you watch it, Darth Vader actually never attacks Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is always on the attack, and Darth Vader's always on the defensive side until the final blow. Also, during that fight, the stormtroopers come over. They could just shoot Obi-Wan, but no, they don't. They're respecting the battle, and they're not going to just kill a guy just like who's like blindsided. I mean, they could easily just do that. So you have that. The rebellion, are they good guys? Let's see. Han Solo, they make a general. The dude's a criminal. Okay, Lando Calrissian
Billy D.
stabs them all in the back, and the next movie is leading the whole army in the flight. So, also Obi-Wan, kind of a sexist.
Whoa, why?
Oh yeah, here you go, Obi-Wan. And when he's in ghost form talking to Yoda, that boy is our only hope. Yoda's like, no, there's another, you sexist son of a bitch. Okay, because you know about Princess Leia. Okay, you know exactly who
Was
she
that a
is.
reference to Leia or to Vader?
No, it was to Leia.
To Leia? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's like, but Obi-Wan's like, nah, females can't be Jedi. We can't count her. Okay, so.
He was raised in a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time, all right. And let's see what else we got. Empire. Also, the Empire, they're actually paying people. They're employing half the galaxy with jobs being on the Empire. The Rebellion ain't doing that. I'm telling you that right now. But also, a big thing, if you ever watch Return of the Jedi, so they have Endor, and the Stormtroopers live there, and the Ewoks. They are living fine. Everything's fine until the Rebellion come. And then the Ewoks are like, hey, y'all are trespassing. And they're like, we're going to eat you up. Until Luke Skywalker tricks the Ewoks that C-3PO is a god, and then uses the Ewok army and lets half of them die to defeat the Empire. I'm sorry, the Rebellion are not the good guys. The Galactic Empire, they're the law.
Who's the one X-wing pilot? Falcon 5 or something or whatever. Like
Red 5 or something like that.
Yeah, he dies.
Okay, do you know how many people are on a Death Star?
Okay. So what about like Alderaan? Like they blew up a whole planet.
They had to. That's the whole planet of rebellion people. They're the enemy. Hey, America bombs people all the time. Why? Because they're bad. Why can't the Empire bomb Alderaan? Because they're bad.
They didn't bomb like just the palace though. They bombed. I mean,
that whole planet was bad. That whole planet was bad.
All right, so I'll piggyback off of another Star Wars thing, and that is, this one's kind of been out there for a while. E.T. is a Jedi. So the proof is in the film E.T., there's a scene for Halloween where he is dressed up in like a ghost outfit, I believe, right?
Yeah.
While on the street, he sees another person dressed up as Yoda, and he turns to him and tries to talk to him because he seems very, very familiar. The reason he's familiar is if you watch Phantom Menace, the race that E.T. is on the council in that world, proving that like they are in the thing, right? So then if you go back and look at E.T., he has a lot of force-based abilities. He has telekinesis and like he can move object minds. He can give force emotions and stuff, whatever. He raises all the bikes and stuff, whatever.
What emotion does he give?
While is it Elliot or something? Like he's watching that movie or whatever, and he feels Elliot full of horniness, and then he grabs that girl and he kisses her.
That sounds like a Sith, not a Jedi.
Hey, either way, he's
got force powers.
He has force powers. I've always thought that was really funny or whatever, because that means that we're in their galaxy or something or whatever, I guess. Yeah. Because if he flew here somehow,
but all that happened a long time ago.
It is
in a galaxy far, far away, but somehow into the future.
Yeah,
that Family Guy.
Another common one that I think people might know about now is that Sandra Dee in Greece is actually in a coma the whole movie. So the idea is, at the very beginning, her and John Travolta, like they dance and sing for everybody, you know, Summer Love. And he talks about how he saved her from drowning. And that's how they first met. So the idea is that he saved her from drowning, but she went into a coma from the drowning, and she didn't wake up. So the whole story that you're seeing is all in her head, which explains why they're singing, and there's dance, and there's all these, and at the end there's a happy ending of her and Danny going off like into the sky. The idea is that she dies at the end, and that's her going up to heaven, and it's basically just so she has completely like envisioned this entire fantastical movie or whatever, everything.
Well, that's good, because Kid Nicky did not need to be a dad. I like that one. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sad, yeah. Another sad one, piggybacking off. This one I had never heard before, and I think it's crazy. So it's about Finding Nemo. So, folks, I'm sorry. The idea is Nemo is not real. So at the beginning of Finding Nemo, the dad, I forget his name, watches his family get eaten, right? By like a barracuda or something, and the only fish egg left is Nemo, right? And so that's why he's so overparenting the whole time. So the thought is, all the kids died, and that the dad broke down psychologically, and he created Nemo in his head. And so the movie,
like a Fight Club kind of thing?
Kind of. So the movie is him going through the 5 stages of grief. And so it ends at the very end with him having like acceptance once he's like found Nemo, quote unquote, or whatever and stuff. And to further put this into place, the word Nemo means nothing. So it's just like, which it's Pixar. It could very well be true. They hate you. So everything's super sad. So I thought that one was like really kind of cool. Whatever. It's like, okay, because like just like a Finding Nemo fan theory. It's pretty neat. Next one is one that I'm sure you've heard a lot, and that is that Ferris Bueller isn't real.
I have heard that one. Yes.
They're basically Cameron Fight Club-esque created this person that like he wants to be this embodiment of cool and popular and has like a girlfriend. And so I don't see it breaks down because I don't know if the whole movie is in his head or if he like actually did those things and then he just psychologically thinks somebody else is there with him.
I have no clue. I mean, it could like you could say something that like they actually just go and just hang out at the pool, and then he just when he falls in, he dreams all that stuff.
Yeah. So the idea is that basically Ferris Bueller is this made up construct in his head of what he wants to be in life, but he's too scared of everything.
See, I think the movie that should be a reverse one where Cameron's not real. That's just Ferris's conscience, and it just tells him like, "Hey, dude, you're kind of a dick. You do some dick."
Yeah,
stuff.
it's doing nothing for him though.
Yeah, it does nothing.
So I that one's another like old one or whatever. You had a Harry Potter one earlier. I have a Harry Potter one as well. Mine is it explains why the Dursleys hate Harry Potter. So we all know after watching all the movies and the books, whatever, Harry Potter is a Horcrux, right? Yeah. Built by Voldemort. We see in I think the Deathly Hallows. Thank you, Jesus. I was gonna say like Holly Parters. Like that's not right. Deathly Hallows in the first one when they're in the woods. No, that's part 2.
Part 2 is in the woods. Yeah.
They have a Horcrux with them the entire time or whatever, and they slowly start to hate each other because it just.
Oh, that's part 1. I think.
It's so evil that they basically it's slowly tearing them apart. So if you put a Horcrux around a family for like 15 years, they're going to slowly begin to hate you, right? So the idea is that the Dursleys weren't shitty people. That the Horcrux that was Harry Potter slowly poisoned them and turned them into fucking terrible people, or whatever. And so it just kind of explains that like that Harry was doomed forever. Like, it didn't matter where he was because people were just always going to.
But I mean, I guess the only kind of problem with that, I guess maybe because they were around him for 15 years, and they turned that way. But like he's around Ron and Hermione, and
but only for like 6 months out of the year though.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe because they were so long.
But even then
they got Horcrux poisoning.
But even then they've had arguments about things and stuff or whatever, and they've like fought about things and. So I don't know. So it's just I think it's just a way to
that's an interesting.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah. My next one is I think you've also heard this one. James Bond is a code name.
Yeah, I always thought that.
Yeah, I always thought this. I always thought that this is real, but apparently, it wasn't. Or whatever. Apparently, so the normal thinking is that James Bond is just one character, and he's just been going adventure to adventure, or whatever. But if you watch the 27 freaking movies or whatever it is,
He hadn't aged.
it goes from the 60s into now, whatever, and he. It would explain why nobody knows who he is. So the idea is that James Bond itself is a code name, and whenever the other current Bond dies or retires, they get a new person. And I thought that this was always kind of pushed because when Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, it starts off with him earning his 007 status or whatever, right? So I always thought that was him earning James Bond.
Yeah.
Was that he could kill somebody.
Which I also I always thought it'd be really cool. It's like, I don't know why they've never done it, but if you do that, you can, in a case, bring in other James Bonds into a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought, my brother too, it'd be cool to have like two James Bonds pair up against
James Bond.
Like James Bond, and he goes and gets Sean Connery.
James Bond versus James Bond.
Exactly, like that's the ultimate James Bond right there. I mean,
but only the worst ones. So like David Lazenby and like Dalton come in or whatever. And stuff.
they'd have to be the villains, and then you get Sean Connery
gotcha,
to be the good
okay,
guy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So yeah, but that one I always thought was just like commonplace. I guess, and just in my mind, I just assumed that that's just what made sense. But apparently, it's always supposed to have been like the exact same character. My last one is a little weird. And I heard it a while ago, and I've always thought it was really good. The idea is that Aladdin is set in a post-apocalyptic future world. Okay, so this proof is piggybacking on the fact that in the original movie Aladdin, Genie is doing a lot of impressions, right? Like he's doing Jack Nicholson. He's doing he talks about going to Disney World. He turns into a car at one point. So there's all these things that like, it would be in the like 1200s or whatever, right? So he shouldn't know any of these things. So the idea is that Genie fell in love with Aladdin and Jasmine and Raja and all those people, whatever. And he had so much fun that he has encapsulated the entire Agrabah into like a snow globe-like world. And so it's gone through time, and he just forces them to just relive moments over and over again.
Scary as hell.
And so basically, it explains why he has a knowledge of the future, because it's not the future to him. He's still living like in a world, going places and doing things and stuff or whatever. But he used his powers once he was free, basically, to entrap them for eternity, hanging out with him. So basically, all of them are in like his lamp or something or whatever.
I've heard one very much like that, except it was a little different. It was Aladdin is the future. And the genie's been locked up for 10,000 years, which would be like now, and he's just been locked up. So it's 10,000 years from now, where like it's a post-apocalyptic future. And that's why everything's a little different.
Gotcha.
There's a little bit of magic. Like there's been like kind of this one made me laugh. Like there's been like mutated stuff where like that's why the birds can talk and stuff like that. That's why the parrot talk. Yeah.
So basically, it's the present. There, but it's just in like a really futuristic world or whatever, like a Mad Max.
So that's why like Genie knows all that stuff, because he lived through it all.
Gotcha.
And they have no clue, and he just like he's been locked up for so long that when he gets out,
So I've always thought it was like a really crazy, like just nutso fan theory or whatever, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
so
it is. That one is
great.
a lot of
Yeah, guys, that was my last one. If y'all have any fan theories that we did not touch upon, please put them in the comment section.
Please do.
Let us know what you guys are thinking. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, that's all I've got.
All right, there's one that it was the Wizard of Oz.
All right,
which is kind of fun. Where it's like different dimensions.
Okay,
and that's why like when they're in Kansas and then she goes to the Wizard of Oz. There's people from the Kansas like reimagined as someone else.
Okay,
so like her aunt is the Wicked Witch of the West stuff. Well, it's supposed to be that Dorothy was actually the Wicked Witch of the East.
Yeah, I saw that
she
one
kills
also.
herself.
Yeah.
But that's why her shoes
fit and stuff. And also, it also explains why she has like magical powers and stuff as well,
like
because she's the alternate world's version of that person.
Yeah. So I thought that one was kind of fun.
If we're doing that, then like I saw one also for Fight Club, where basically the narrator and Tyler Durden or whatever, that they are the grown-up versions of Calvin and Hobbes. that Hobbes is the new imagination of Calvin or whatever, like his tiger or whatever, and the Fight Club is just the version of the Girls Gross Club or something or whatever from the comic book or something or whatever. And so I thought that one. I mean, it's obviously not true, but like
that's
was
a
just,
fun one.
Yeah, it's just kind of stupid and fun. I like it. All right, guys, thank you all so much for hanging
Appreciate
with
you
us.
listening.
As always, get into it. See you next time.
Bye.